The latest Genshin update contains a lot of new and exciting content, and these are the top 5 new features coming with the 4.1 version. So, we're starting off strong with a new zone that includes a wide variety of cool biomes. There's the overworld area that was impacted by the Fontaine Research Institute and now has these weird landscapes and locations. For example, some of these areas are literally just hanging in the air and kind of reminds me of the latest Zelda game. But there's also a secret underwater cave, and going deeper, there's a massive fortress that holds all of the exiled criminals, and in fact, the Traveler is going to be infiltrating this place for some kind of a reason. And from what I understand, this fortress is deep underwater, and it will be an interesting place to explore compared to previous areas, since it has this industrial feeling to it. But most importantly, with the new massive map zone, the Hydro Archon's 3rd and 4th quest parts will be available, and one of the small tidbits we received about this quest line involves Arlecchino, Neuvillette, and Hydro Archon discussing between themselves how to resolve some kind of a conflict. Hopefully they are talking about the serious shortage of Primogems we're all experiencing, because some of the new characters are gonna cause a huge conflict for my Primo wallet. As always, a new version means a ton of new events, and the biggest one in this update is going to be Waterborne Poetry, made up of 3 different activities. First, we have this weird carnival-style minigame where you just use your Traveler to shoot small missiles and attempt to break as many of the vases as possible. Then there's a combat activity where you can obtain some kind of inspiring crystals after defeating enemies and boost your combat capabilities. Looks pretty much like any other combat event with a small twist. And then there's also an activity where you will need to find the remainders of the picture out in the world. And honestly, I like this kind of minigame. Feels really relaxing for me, and I get a chance to run around some older areas. Now, the biggest reward here is going to be a free 4-star catalyst called Ballad of the Boundless Blue, as well as this strange thing called Dandelion Bookmark. I'm not sure what it's about, maybe I missed the details, but it will be interesting to see what this item does. Moving over, the next event showcased was Dodoko's Bombastic Adventure. Klee is back, and we need to take care of her by entertaining her in this simple arcade minigame where you can use various types of Jumpty Dumpties and destroy the obstacles. None of the rewards stand out here, but then again, free resources, so I cannot complain here. Next on the list is Radiant Harvest. Swim around underwater, collect some jellyfish in a timely manner, and as Dawei himself told us, help protect the ecology. The last unique event shown in the livestream is going to be the Peaks and Troughs of Life. This is another combat event where you use some kind of a unique item, complete a quick series of timed hits, and gain some combat benefits. Finally, we're also getting Overflowing Mastery, and as you can see here, all of the events here are listed as well. But that's not all. Since this update marks the game's 3rd anniversary, there will be 10 Intertwined Fates login reward that you can claim, and in addition, an in-game mail will be sent out with 1,600 Primogems, or essentially 10 free pulls, as well as 4 Fragile Resin. Then there's also a cute companion, I assume we can equip, called Itsy Bitsy Octobaby, and what looks like a gadget which supposedly generates bubbles. At least that's what I'm reading from it. I mean, the anniversary rewards are basically the same as the ones we got last year, so anyone who was expecting a free 5-star, that octopus probably took its place. Oh, and the top-up bonuses will be reset again, so if you have any of them left over and still want to use them before the reset, now is the time. But as always, don't spend if it puts you in a bad financial position. And yeah, that's all of the events. Although, I get the feeling I'm forgetting something. Oh, right, there's also a new TCG event for the dozens of you who are still playing it. Nah, I'm kidding. But I really need to get back into the TCG mode, cause these cats are just too cute. So with the 4.1, we're getting 2 new 5-stars, and I don't know about you, but I'm having a hard time saving up my primos for the Hydro Archon when these big men are tempting me. Anyway, first we have Risley or Risley, who is a 5-star Cryo Catalyst. But really, this dude's a melee fighter because yet again, Hoyo is utilizing the Catalyst weapon type in a unique way. So he can punch enemies with his normal and charge attacks, and since he is a Catalyst user, it will be straight up cryo damage. His skill will enhance this damage, but at the same time, it will also take away some of his health, but when he falls below a certain amount of HP, he can use his charge attack to deal increased damage, consume no stamina, and restore him health. The burst looks like it can deal some cool damage in the big area in front of him, but not much else is known about it officially. Moving on, the other 5-star we have is Neuvillette, who is a Hydro Catalyst user. Now this guy literally unleashes a massive Hydro Laser at his enemies, and this will actually be his whole playstyle because both burst and the skill will drop these source water droplets on the ground, and they will be crucial for him since normally you would need to charge up the Hydro Laser slowly, but thanks to these droplets, he can gather them up and reduce the charging speed. Also, the more HP Neuvillette Neuvillette has, the better the damage he will deal. So yeah, both of these guys seem to be really interesting. In fact, I would say one of them is going to be almost insane, but I'll leave this for the next video that's coming out soon. And for now, let's talk about the upcoming banners. So in the first phase, Neuvillette and Hu Tao are going to be featured, which is pretty amazing, since one of them is a fresh new character, while the other one is an old but beloved and strong damage dealer. And in second phase, Wriothesley along with Venti will be available on the featured banners. One thing to keep in mind is that both Venti and Hu Tao will be featured in the 4.1 story quest, and more importantly, both Neuvillette and Wriothesley will have their very own story quests, so more primos to collect, and maybe even find out more about these two beefy guys. Finally, there's also two new 5-star weapons, which I think it's safe to assume these will be the new signature weapons for the new characters. But what's interesting is that we're also getting new 4-star weapons. Well, not getting, but I believe they will most likely be on the weapon gacha banners. And some of them actually look pretty sleek. So I am interested to find out what they do once 4.1 drops. I'm actually surprised to see this, but a ton of new enemies are going to be added with 4.1 update. First, we've got one of the new bosses, Experimental Field Generator. What's cool about it is that it will warp the gravity field, and you can actually jump higher and do some tricks to gain an advantage in this fight. But if it's like any world boss, it'll probably get demolished in the first 10 seconds. Now, the other boss seems to be located underwater, and this one is called Millennial Pearl Seahorse, who seems to be infused with the electro elements, and I wonder if he will be as annoying as the other one in Inazuma. But there's also two new cool Fatui agents called the Frost and Wind Operatives, and they're part of the special force of elite operatives under Arlecchino's command, which is pretty interesting. Finally, there's also a couple of new clockwork mecha you will find underwater, which is kind of fascinating because we also saw a sneak peek of a factory that manufactures the clockwork mecha, so it might have something to do with these new enemies. When it comes to quality of life changes, there's actually quite a few coming our way. First of all, the commission system is getting a major revamp, and starting from 4.1, when you complete a quest, participate in an event, explore and collect materials, you'll accumulate encounter points, which you will be able to exchange for the same rewards as with daily commissions. You can mix and match these encounter points with commissions, so for example, you get the daily rewards by just doing 3 commissions and claiming 1 encounter point. Another adjustment has to do with adventure rank ascension. You'll now get a reminder for it, and the whole challenge will be heavily nerfed, so there won't be strong enemies and it won't last a long time. I guess Hoyo just wants beginners to reach endgame as soon as possible, and I think it's pretty great for players who just want to explore the regions casually. Now, these other changes aren't coming with 4.1, but they will be introduced sometime in the future, and this includes one-click expeditions, improving Adventurer's Handbook when it comes to locating enemies, and artifact enhancements getting a bulk upgrade option. For a minute there, I thought we're finally getting artifact loadouts, but that doesn't seem to be the case for now. But hey, I'll take that one-click expeditions upgrade. And yeah, that's pretty much what's coming with 4.1, and I hope you found this video useful. You can always help me out by pressing the like button on this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.